Fox Sports Upstate weather.
It'll be another hot one for today with temperatures on the rise. Temperatures for today will hit 92 degrees, but those feel like temperatures back near 101. If you do have any outdoor activities or work outdoors, make sure to stay cool and drink plenty of water. Storms are back in the forecast for Tuesday, some of which could be strong to severe. This has been meteorologist Victoria Kokinas with WIFF News 4.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all seem to be in a rush these days, from work to driving our kids around. But when you're behind the wheel, please, do not speed. A few minutes saved by going faster is never worth the risk. So follow the speed limit, enjoy the drive, maybe bring some snacks for the kids, and know that along the way, you're getting quality time with your family.
Paid for by NHTSA.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
A lot of apps like to say they're free until they ask for your credit card. iHeartRadio is different. No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio.
The games are over, so there's only one thing left to do: overreact. The NFL Draft Nerd is here to weave through the world of sports and separate fact from fiction. Get involved. The call-in line's open at 864-240-5480. You can tweet us, we don't call it X, at the NFL Draft Nerd. Now, here's that creed-loving, bird-fearing, football lunatic, Jeremy Greene.
It's hour 5. Hour 5 of live radio here today. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. This is Overtime, brought to you by Ingles Markets. It's a full call-in show, 864-240-5480, or hit us with a text, 864-777-9593. Sweet Baby Trey is up on our YouTube. You can see that at the Sportsocracy on all the social medias. You're in a little suit today.
Oh, that's cute.
Little Sweet Baby Trey in his tuxedo. Well, the funny thing is, it doesn't know you, and yet it still figured you would wear tennis shoes with a suit.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
I feel like that is correct. Our NFL Top 100 Player Unveil started today. Continues for the next 2 weeks until we announce it live from Canton, Ohio. Let's go. Pro Football Hall of Fame, Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, who I hope doesn't punch me in the face. I've said a lot of things about Pittsburgh. Not the city. I love the city. It's the university that I'm not so fond of. I'm very excited. It's here. This is the week where it becomes real for me of we're going to be on a field where something resembling NFL football will be played just 10 days from now.
Is this like Christmas week for you?
This year's been weird.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, we've had a lot of movement since the last time that we saw actual football.
Well, yeah.
My life is significantly different today than it was the last time we had real football. The offseason just hasn't felt off.
Yeah.
So we are going to take a little bit of time. A, I want to get to some camps. B, I want to see an ocean. I want to see the world that's not necessarily confined into this room that I'm currently sitting in. And I want to not talk for just a few days. It's really important to me that I don't hear the sound of my own voice. These Mondays now, it's 6 hours of Jeremy hearing himself. 3 completely different shows. They've become a fever dream. But we do thank those that make it possible. Most notably, Ingles Markets. You can find them online, ingles-markets.com. This Friday, 4X fuel points. I don't know about you, but I was in Greenville over the weekend, and you know who I was very thankful for? Ingles, because I saved 45 cents on my gas.
Oh, that's nice.
And in my truck, that's real savings. And that's why their tagline is low prices, love the savings. I spoke at a camp on Saturday, which I'm not going to lie, that did catch me off guard of why would anyone think that I am who should tell the youth of America how to do this job?
Yeah, how'd that go?
It actually went great. To be really honest with you, the group itself is called Sports and Culture Media. It's where sports meets culture. That's their tagline. And Tyler Butler, a guy that I've known for many years, but just finally met face to face for the first time. I am really impressed by what he has done. I wish I had a program like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He teaches these kids how to do, photography and all the things that go into the business, and then gives them opportunities to do it. One of the first girls that graduated from the program now works for Inside Clemson Insider. It was one of those two.
Yeah, Clemson Insider.
And it was really impressive to me to see. I mean, because when somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I want you to speak to a class," what's the first thing you think of?
Why me?
Well,
oh,
okay.
you mean the class? Sorry.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That was the first thing I thought too. That was a question that I did not see. If that had been a question at the camp, that would have been what's called a non-open-ended question.
Yeah.
And you got the answer that you deserved. When you're dealing with school-age children.
Yeah, like elementary. So that's what I think, like elementary kids.
Your first thought is, are they going to be invested? Are they going to be locked in? Or is this just something their parents made them do? And they were all just dialed into doing this. And they broke up into groups, and they asked me questions. One of them made me cry. I don't cry ever. I'm the devil. Like, I'll rust if I cry. And one of them did a little legwork on me and found out about the stuff with Hurricane Helene and asked a question that I was in no way prepared for. It was very impressive.
That's a journalist right there.
100%. I told Tyler, I was like, some of these kids ask better questions than I do, and I've been doing this for a decade. Starting to worry, you may have found the next class of kids that are looking to take my job. And if you see my name on social media, there's a lot of people that really don't think I should have my job. And that's fine. You know what that and $1 will get you? A Coca-Cola. And you should buy it at your local Ingles supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. We have started camps. Things are transpiring. Injuries are happening. Romello Height carted off San Francisco 49ers practice earlier today. Sounds really bad.
The 49ers are the only team I've seen where the injury bug has also hit the coach. That's that team is cursed.
Did you so that story is kind of mind-boggling when you think about it. Kyle Shanahan
had it under wraps for 2 weeks.
I don't either.
About it.
I don't know how you did that either. So, I mean, currently at the University of North Carolina, friend of the program, Mike Lombardi, there's an HR inquiry into him. They didn't keep that secret for an hour. It came out this morning. It was public information before I'd had the chance to read the email, and we've worked with the university for over a decade. Somehow, Kyle Shanahan gets into a car wreck. We keep it quiet for 2 weeks. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories floating about that maybe I've always thought Kyle was an honorable guy. I don't necessarily think he's as good a coach as everybody else says he is.
Yeah.
I don't buy into any of that. I did find it ironic that the guy running 49ers camp was Chris Forrester. Does that name mean anything to you, Trey?
Chris Forrester?
Chris Forrester.
Should it?
He's been an offensive line coach for 7,000 years.
Okay, all right.
He once had a very famous dalliance with the Miami Dolphins where he was on, I don't remember if it was a FaceTime call. I want to say it was a FaceTime call is how we found out about this, where he was doing a little cocaine on the FaceTime call with his lady friend, and she got a little perturbed and sent it to everyone. Anyone in media. Yeah, he resurfaced. Now is the associate head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, why not?
Hey, it just goes to show, kids, if you make a mistake, lay low and wait for the time to be right, and then you can pop your head out like a gopher. Hey, remember me? Some of you do, some of you don't. I'm in charge now. We've also had quarterbacks around the league. It does appear that the injuries from last year, we're going to be okay. You remember that thing I said about Patrick Mahomes about, I'm going to go 6 months ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's already throwing at Chiefs camp.
That's insane.
Locked and loaded.
That's crazy.
Week 1. My source, trust me, bruh. And I was right. Daniel Jones throwing at Colts camp. I think we have to get out of this mindset of the way things have been and look at the way they are. I don't know what has changed in medical technology that means a patellar or a Achilles or an ACL that used to take you out for a year now takes you out for about 14 months or 14 weeks, excuse me. I don't know what's changed, but it has.
Witchcraft. That's what I'm convinced with Aaron Rodgers. He went on one of his retreats and came back. And
Aaron Rodgers was running 4 months after an Achilles.
Oh, it was wild.
Which was nuts.
Yeah.
At this point, you just have to assume, especially with quarterbacks, they're going to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
I've told anybody that will listen, Kansas City Chiefs, if you're a hater, I really hope you got your shots in. I really hope you that if you wanted to kick them while they were down, I hope you did it. Because they have, like The Undertaker, risen from the dead, and I hate to tell you this, but they start Broncos, Colts, at the Dolphins, at the Raiders.
Wow.
Do you notice anything about that start to the schedule?
That's great.
That really feels like they want to keep Kansas City relevant, doesn't it?
Yep.
I got to be careful. Anything I say about the Denver Broncos, I don't know ball. Oh, well, it's weird. They invite me to a lot of it. And for somebody that doesn't know anything, they invite me to a lot. And all these people that seem to think they know more than me, they don't invite you to squat.
Must be your charming personality.
No doubt. I am indeed a man of the people. I am here to please, and that is the only reason that I am here. We're going to talk a little college football tonight. We haven't done that as deeply over the course of the season. We are predominantly NFL guys, but if you saw the unveiling of the first and last leg of the Living the Dream Tour, there's a lot of college football on it. A lot of things around the college landscape that we are going to be hands-on for. We are taking your calls, so if you want to talk Clemson Tigers, South Carolina Gamecocks, Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, or anything in between, we will do that tonight on this here program. That call-in line number is 864-240-5480. That's 864-240-5480. Make sure you call the call-in line or text the text line. The text line's 864-777-9593. He's Trey Falco. I am at the NFL Draft Nerd, Jeremy Greene, and we'll be back right after this on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
When you're ready to ride, you don't settle, and neither do we. Harley-Davidson of Greenville has the largest pre-owned inventory in the Carolinas, packed with the bikes riders actually want. More power, more attitude, more ways to hit the road your way. Roll into 30 Chrome Drive in Greenville and throw a leg over your next Harley. Or shop the full lineup at upstateharley.com before the best ones are gone. Harley-Davidson of Greenville. Ride like you mean it.
If you run a business, you've probably heard plenty of AI promises. But here's one thing we know for sure. When consumers hear an ad for your business, 90% want to know it's a real person talking. And that's what you'll get when you advertise with iHeart. We are guaranteed human. That means real voices, real connection, and trusted audio that helps businesses drive results. Learn how easy it is to tell your story through our voices today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
For a lot of workplaces, the work week doesn't end on Friday. That's why there's EasyCater, the best way to order food from favorite restaurants for your hardworking team, even on weekends. With EasyCater, you'll find great options for any group size and any shift, with tools to help meet dietary needs, stay on budget, and simplify expenses, all backed by our award-winning 24/7 support. EasyCater, your Monday through Sunday workplace food platform. Start an order for your weekend crew at EasyCater.com.
It's 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. This is Overtime, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Find them online at ingles-markets.com. In the previous show, Sportsocracy with myself and Tank Spencer and Trey Falco, we had a question about who are the most overrated and underrated teams in the NFL. We're taking your takes on those things. Who do you think is underrated? Who do you think is overrated? We love getting takes via phone call, via text message, via YouTube, any of those things. Social media, we enjoy those too. We just don't respond to as many of them. Sometimes because I have absolutely no idea what they were trying to say. And other times because they tell me to do things that are anatomically impossible. It's the beauty of social media. I said in the previous show, I cannot understand what it is about the New England Patriots that's making smart people lose their minds. I get it. The schedule wasn't good last year, but that team was. We get very locked into schedules, whether it's in the NFL or in college football. I've noticed this a lot with college football, where it seems like every fan base wants to talk about how good their schedule is. I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to say it once. Nobody cares how good your schedule is. At this point, there is absolutely zero incentive to play a tough non-conference schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Your only objective, year in and year out, is to make the playoff. I've said repeatedly, conference championships are dumb. In this setup, there is absolutely no incentive for you to play a conference championship in the Big Ten. There's no incentive to play one in the SEC. The only conferences that need to play a conference championship game at this point are the ones that are only going to get one team. Last year we had Indiana, Ohio State in the Big Ten title game. Yeah, guess what? They were both making it. We had Georgia, Alabama in the SEC title game. One of the biggest points of contention throughout the entire process was, should Alabama actually have played in this because they were so bad that they might get left out. There's no incentive. There's no positive to playing a tougher schedule now than what your conference dictates. I've said this with LSU. Lane Kiffin takes over at LSU, and the schedule didn't really do him any favors. And Trey, I'm going to ask this in a very basic way. What does beating Clemson actually do for LSU?
Ooh.
Not here in Greenville, South Carolina. On the national landscape, what does Lane Kiffin at home beating Clemson do for LSU?
I will say I think it would do more for him, or let's how do I want to word this? I think it would hurt him more losing to Clemson than it would benefit him winning against Clemson, if that makes sense.
And
like I think National looks at it like, okay, they're on a hot start. Yeah, they're starting the way they're supposed to. And that's not a knock against Clemson. I think that's also just an idea of what the national narrative kind of thinks of Clemson in a nutshell.
And that's exactly my point. So LSU scheduled this home and home with Clemson many years ago. The world looked very different in college football when this thing was first conspired. LSU had been hot. They'd had a couple national titles. They were a real player, which I think they still can be, but they're not actively right now. They're coming off a bad season, and that perception is what's going to stick with Clemson. I will be at that game in Baton Rouge. And what you said is exactly where I was headed. Beating Clemson does less than nothing for LSU. I know Clemson Tiger fans don't want to hear that, but on the national scale, it doesn't. Because what you're going to get distracted by is what's coming the next week. Even if that's the best win of week one, Ohio State and Texas play the next week. Somebody's going to have a better win than you. Whoever wins that game has a better win than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, conversely, if LSU loses to Clemson, I'm not going to say your season's over because it's not. But you're starting at a tremendous deficit. Not because Clemson's not a good school.
Right, you're on the back foot.
Because Clemson's in the ACC. Clemson's in the ACC. They're not actively viewed by national media the same way that Miami is. So it's going to look like Lane Kiffin brought his cast of characters to Baton Rouge and lost to the second, third, fourth, whatever place national media will put them, team in the ACC. Beating them doesn't help you in any shape, form, or fashion. LSU's going to break into the first poll, which we will have in a couple weeks. LSU's going to start in that poll in the top 10. It's just who they are. They have a Heisman contender quarterback, Sam Leavitt. It's already taken an Arizona State team to a college football playoff and has first-round aspirations in the 2027 NFL Draft. They have a slew of running backs. They have a slew of wide receivers. They added one of the best left tackles in the country in Jordan Seaton out of Colorado. Baker comes back as defensive coordinator, and the cupboard is stacked on that defense. If you lose to Clemson, your season is over effectively before it begins because now you're out of hiccups. Because what happens if you lose to Ole Miss in the Lane Kiffin Bowl 2 weeks later? Now you're sitting here 1-2, and the rest of your schedule only gives you an A&M team that I think a lot of us feel like are not quite as good as they were a year ago.
Yep.
And they always let you down when you count on them.
Yep.
You get a Kentucky team that I like and I think is well coached, but they're not viewed nicely in national media. Alabama, who I've said 1,000 times will be down. You catch another game with Texas, and you go to Tennessee. Is that enough to get a 2-loss LSU team into the college football playoff? Because I don't think it is.
Even with the expansion?
The problem with being in the SEC or being in the Big Ten right now,
right,
is it is a popularity contest, and losing to Clemson is going to be viewed much more harshly than an Oklahoma if they have 2 losses in the SEC and it's to South Carolina and to Texas. Clemson's not viewed that way on the national landscape. If South Carolina has a win over Oklahoma, it's because South Carolina was better than the national media thought they were.
Yeah.
LSU has set themselves up for a potential failure. Now, on the flip side, if you win that game, you beat Ole Miss, and then you trip up against Texas A&M. Do you think those first two wins that I mentioned are going to matter for Lane Kiffin? No. It will be, oh, look, they beat Clemson, they beat Ole Miss, and they'll pat them on the head and go, well, they're nice teams, but they're not Texas A&M. They're not Alabama. They're not Texas. And when Lane had to beat one of those contender teams, he couldn't live up to it.
Yep.
Lane Kiffin is going to be held to a different standard. I'm going to use a call that we got in the last hour on the Sportsocracy from our guy Roger. And he was talking about Mike Vrabel and why is Mike Vrabel's personal life and his puppy and all of these things, why is that news? Well, it's not. Why is it covered like news? Because Mike Vrabel is. I learned 20-some-odd years ago as a very young writer in this business, what you find interesting and what the public finds interesting are not always the same thing. And what I'm discovering over the course of time is that it seems like a larger percentage of fans than I have ever thought this to be the case have two favorite teams. Whoever they like and whoever will take someone down that they hate.
Yep.
I would make the argument right now that there's not a more hateable figure in college football than Lane Kiffin. I know him personally. I like the guy. I've always liked the guy. I know what he is. He's a bit of a snake oil salesman. He's a bit of a charmer. He's a bit of a full of excrement. But I've never had a problem with him. I think he's a really good coach. I think he just plays the game in a way that not everyone's comfortable with. But it's the name of the game.
Got a text.
And the further down this rabbit hole we go, the more you're going to stop seeing Ohio State, Texas in week 2. You're going to stop seeing LSU, Clemson. You're going to stop seeing a slew of these games because, frankly, the schedule's not as good now as it was just a few years ago because there's no incentive. What does it help me? How badly can it harm me? How much can it help me? And unfortunately, we're on the wrong sides of both of those arguments. And so you're going to see a lot more Louisiana Tech LSU than you're going to see Clemson LSU because the juice is just not worth the squeeze. You can get involved in the program through the text line, 864-777-9593, or the call-in line, 864-240-5480. We have gotten one of those from our guy, Soaring Eagle. And it says, let me give a whole front office that somehow made themselves overrated, even though we say they suck. Arizona, after they brought back Jacoby Brissett, after he held out for more money, I got a suggestion to get your fans super excited. There's these ads I keep getting shoved in my face on Instagram where you can spend $100 US and you can buy a plot of land in the country of Fife in Scotland. This took a hard right turn. And also legally become a lord or lady in Scottish heritage, meaning you literally spend $100 and legally be called Lord Jeremy of Fife. Maybe the Arizona Cardinals should do something like that and let their fans call themselves the GM for 24 hours. Because maybe that'll make them better than whatever the disaster of that team management is. That was a journey. I wasn't real sure where that one was going to land. Arizona is an interesting team. Not because of anything on the field, just because it feels like you're off to a really bad start. Nathaniel Hackett calling out your rookie running back that you took at 2. There's video that's come out today. I don't know if you've seen it, Trey. Have you seen the video circulating from Arizona Cardinals practice?
Ooh, no, I have not. You know, I don't peruse the Arizona airwaves. Like I just doesn't make my radar too much.
Yeah, this is one. If you've been on Twitter at all today, it would have popped up because it's been everywhere. Basically, they run a stretch play to the left side.
Yeah.
and Jeremiah Love just disappears into a sea of defenders. He outruns the line, and it literally it is one of the funniest jailbreaks you've ever seen on not a blitz. I just don't understand, and I'll never understand, the Jacoby Brissett thing. You give him $15 million, it can go up to $21 million. For what? What does it actually change? I've said this for years. There should be three kinds of teams in the NFL. Legit Super Bowl contenders, teams legit on the rise that are contending for playoff berths or just missing out, and then teams that are absolutely awful. I will never understand the benefit of going 6-11. The Kansas City Chiefs figured this out quite quickly. Hey, we're not Super Bowl contenders? Cool, lay down. Lay down like an old dog next to the radiator. They went 6-11. They wound up with Mansour Delane. They added a bunch of players to that team, knowing there's a great chance they will not pick in the top 10 again in the Pat Mahomes era.
Right.
But they got a guy. They traded Trent McDuffie, got another guy, because they got a pick at the end of the first round. And they just added talent to this team. I look at some of these mediocre to bad franchises that have just been circling the drain forever. There's no plan. There's no conscious plan because you're changing the leadership every 2 to 3 years. Unfortunately for Arizona, I didn't love the Mike LaFleur hire when you made it. And through a handful of days of camp, it is not off to a great start. That doesn't mean it's doomed to fail. There have been many of these that have started out a little clunky and found a way to gain traction down the line. But Arizona right now is a just wildly bad team with one player that really makes you feel warm and fuzzy, Jeremiah Love. Your offensive coordinator couldn't wait to say he's a rookie and denigrate him to prop up James Conner. Why does a guy do that? Why does someone like Nathaniel Hackett feel so much better about James Conner than he does about Jeremiah Love?
Probably because he's Nathaniel Hackett.
That doesn't help anything. It's because he's got one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel.
Right.
He knows he got this job because his family is close with Mike LaFleur's family. And if he gets bounced out here, he'll be one of the worst head coaches in NFL history and a two-time loser as a one-year offensive coordinator. That's career homicide. You don't get another chance after that. So he leans on the veteran that he knows how to do all the small things because he doesn't care about growing Jeremiah Love because he doesn't think he'll be here that long. This is what happens to mediocre to bad teams. They get coaches, Todd Monken in Cleveland, Aaron Glenn in New York. I could do this for a while. You hire guys that probably would not have gotten a job anywhere else. They might have gotten an interview, but they wouldn't have gotten the job. And then they treat this job like every game is potentially their last, because it could be. Meanwhile, you see a team like the Baltimore Ravens. They were consistent for 20 years. The first time you don't believe in the voice of John Harbaugh, he was gone. And you know what's going to happen now? It took one speech in front of that team for me to go, that's not going to work. You can give me all the New York Giants that you want. I haven't liked the build of the roster the entire time. And then John Harbaugh comes up here and absolutely sounds like it's his first day communicating the English language. And I'm looking at a room of 90, 20 to 30-year-old men. I've been in those rooms. I know how that goes. Because that speech ends, and you all look at each other and go, our coach is a dork. I don't believe in that guy. I don't care what he's done. And then you start to nitpick him. And then injuries start, which has been a bugaboo for both Harbaugh brothers for years. And then it plants this little seed of doubt. Maybe he's not as good a coach. Maybe this was an error. Maybe Jackson Dart's not our quarterback. Maybe we should have a running back that doesn't talk like Cam Scattaboo. Maybe it's really just Malik Neighbors and a bunch of dudes. And the next thing you know, 3 years from now, John Harbaugh's looking for another job, and we're talking about what a disaster it was with the New York Giants. Does that mean John Harbaugh's not a good coach? No.
No.
It means he's not the savior of the franchise. In the NFL, there's only a handful of guys that can be the savior of your franchise because they're so smart, they're so put together, they're so fundamentally and organizationally strong that they can take a loser franchise out of the doldrums. But the funny thing is, those guys never take jobs with the Browns, the Jets, and the Cardinals. Those teams find the coach that will take their job. And then we live on this perpetual cycle where every 3 years you have a change in leadership, and not every GM sees a guy the way the previous GM did. Not every coach sees a guy the way the previous coach did. And the next thing you know, you got a bunch of guys on your roster that don't fit the scheme because 2 GMs ago thought this was the guy that was going to change your fortunes. It never does. You just live in this perpetual cycle of sadness. I hate it for the fans of those teams. I get excited when I see a team break out of that. I think the Chicago Bears are in the process of breaking out of that right now. Hiring Brad Holmes for the Detroit Lions did it 4 or 5 years ago for the Detroit Lions. But it's hard to do, and it's expensive. And if you really watch these interviews around camp and watch how things go, it's not that hard to figure out when you have one of those guys. Sean McVay is one of those guys. Andy Reid has always been one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ben Johnson with the Chicago Bears is one of those guys. But there's not a lot of them. The NFL is a league of haves and have-nots. And a lot of these teams have been have-nots for a long time. You can get involved through the text line, 864-777-9593. That's what our buddy Bill Workman did. He said Hackett's still living off what Aaron Rodgers did in 2020 and 2021 when he was the OC in Green Bay. The Cardinals need an OC and a director of college scouting that don't gamble with other people's money. I agree with him wholeheartedly. The scary thing is that you've hired your coach, and now you got a GM that's on the hot seat. Because Arizona is one of those teams that does things completely backwards, and Monty Ossenfort gets to keep control of the roster, picks his own coach, and then a year from now when he gets fired, now I got to find a GM that wants the coach. I'll never understand why more teams don't do that together. I understand it's expensive. You make plenty of money.
Right.
Having cohesion between your GM and your head coach is one of the most important things in all of sports in terms of teams in the NFL. If your head coach and your GM aren't on the same page, nothing else you do matters. And that leads me into something that, well, it broke in the previous show, and we're going to talk about it again right now. You're in overtime. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Find them online, ingles-markets.com. We're talking Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the other side of this break on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
Fox Sports Upstate weather.
It'll be another hot one for today with temperatures on the rise. Temperatures for today will hit 92 degrees, but those feel like temperatures back near 101. If you do have any outdoor activities or work outdoors, make sure to stay cool and drink plenty of water. Storms are back in the forecast for Tuesday, some of which could be strong to severe. This has been meteorologist Victoria Kokinas with WIFF News 4.
This report is sponsored by SC Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, over $9.4 billion in lottery proceeds have been appropriated to benefit educational causes in South Carolina, like scholarships, school buses, and technology initiatives? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
For knee replacement, trust the expert who collaborated with Stryker to refine the new Mako robotic power system. Choose board-certified orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Frank Armacida at the Surgery Center at Pelham.
With this technology, I can put it with such a high level of precision that I'm getting it within a fraction of a millimeter and really make a custom fit for each individual patient.
Schedule your consultation at the world's first ASC to offer Mako RPS for total knee replacement. Surgery Center at Pelham.com.
I'm Nick Turturro. You probably know me from NYPD Blue, The Longest Yard, or Spike Lee's Black Klansman. And on my new podcast, Delivering Happiness with Nick Turturro, I deliver pizza to a new guest. I've shared a slice with everyone, from Seth Rollins.
What are you doing with my belt?
To Bill Burr.
I don't think I've ever met somebody so exactly out of their mind.
We even have more great guests coming up, including John Turturro.
It's called happiness. Delivering happiness.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Delivering Happiness with Nick Turturro, and listen now.
Do you have a question about your home? Y'all call Wally.
Welcome to Y'all Call Wally with Waldrop Plumbing, Air, and Electric's Wally the Walrus.
Hey, Dad.
Wally, what do your technicians do if they come across an air conditioner that's just beyond repair?
Oh, we can fix it.
Right, but what if it's been years since anyone's looked at it, and the major components are bad?
We can fix it.
But hypothetically, what if it's so bad that...
Our team can fix anything, Dad, and we're happy to explain the details. Now, sometimes a replacement might be cheaper in the long run, but we'll let you do the math.
But when you say you can fix anything, you mean like anything?
Okay, asteroid impact, zombie damage, crushed by a T-Rex, no guarantees there. Anything else, we can fix it.
Been catching up on a lot of old movies recently, haven't you, Wally?
When I was a kid up in the Arctic, we had 2 channels, and they were both in Norwegian, so...
There you have it, folks. Join us again next time on...
YallCallWally.com.
Attention retirees, this is Greg Elliott Prosperity Group. And did you know the taxes are on sale through 2028? You have the ability to do a Roth conversion right now with the type of account that will add enough to cover the tax of converting your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Simply give us a call at 1-800-297-5755 or go to our website at mymoneyissafe.com.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I got smart about mortgages. Now it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org. Smartaboutmoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money. Smartaboutmoney.org. It's the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
You're in overtime with the NFL draft nerd Jeremy Greene and Trey Falco, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Vita Vea has requested a trade out of Tampa Bay. And unfortunately, I'm not as surprised as I was an hour ago. If you look at Tampa Bay, that team's been quite a fraud for quite some time. They haven't been an actual honest-to-God contender. And I think it's funny that fans and media and things of the like really like to tell stories, but they leave out really important parts of stories. Obviously, Tom Brady came in, won a Super Bowl, all of the things.
Right.
That doesn't change who your franchise is. Tom Brady was there 3 years. They went 11-5, 13-4, and 8-9. They made the playoffs 5 years in a row. Trey, I'm going to ask you a theoretical question.
All right.
It's actually not a theoretical question. Theoretical means there'd be an open-ended answer. This one's pretty simple. Before Tom Brady, how many years had it been since the Bucs won or made the playoffs? Brady won a Super Bowl in year 1. That was in 2020. Yeah. What was the previous year they made the playoffs before that?
That's a good question. I don't know, like 10 years?
It was 2007.
Ooh. So
they lost from 2002 when they won the Super Bowl till 2020 when they won the Super Bowl again. That's 18 years if you're not great at math. They made the playoffs twice. Twice. Lost in the wild card round both times. This is not a good organization, and it hasn't been a good organization for a long time.
Right.
If you take out the Tampa 2, the Tony Dungy defense that John Gruden eventually won a Super Bowl with, this is one of the most mediocre franchises in NFL history. You can put that Tom Brady lipstick on this pig all you want to. The problem is that you left Todd Bowles to coach it. So since Tom went away, you had 1 year of Tom Brady with Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
They went 8-9. Since then, you've had Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles. They've gone 9-8, 10-7, and 8-9. You understand that's not good, right? Especially when you've been in the worst division in the NFL throughout all of it. And I've heard a lot in the last hour and a half since this came down. I was listening to Mike Garafolo while we were in the commercial break, and he was talking about this. This is not the normal posturing. This is not just a guy looking to get the contract taken care of. This is a guy looking around going, this is not the home that I thought it was. Of course it's not. Take a brass tacks look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do they do well? If you take Vita Vea out of it, what do they do well? They've heaped praise on a rookie, Reuben Bain, that I had him as the number 8 player in the class. I don't love the fit in the defense. They're hedging their bets in a secondary with 2 second-year players and a guy that's been pretty historically average in Zion McCollum. They have no discernible pass rush to speak of. They've been one of the best run defensive teams in the league because of Vita. Now think about what happens when Vita Vea looks around and sees, wow, there's no Levante David here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Jamel Dean here. The only one left that I feel really good about is Antoine Winfield. Then he looks on the offensive side. No Mike Evans left here. He's in San Francisco. Bucky Irving was a mediocre running back at best. Oh, and we're getting ready to pay $50, $55, $60 million to Baker Mayfield. Vita Vea requesting a trade tells you everything you need to know about that. This is Mr. Buccaneer. He's been one of the faces of this franchise for almost a decade. And you make this a contract thing, and the contract's part of it. Because Vita's 31, he'll be 32 in March. He's looking around going, my time's drawing nigh. 350-pound defensive linemen don't play until they're 40. He knows I've got one contract left. You're either going to overpay me to finish my career here in Tampa Bay, or I'm going to find somebody where I can win. And Tampa Bay's not it. If you look around the NFC South right now, all 3 teams in this division are trending upward. Tampa Bay's trending downward. This team's getting old with a mediocre quarterback that wants to get paid. And I'll make the argument now. If Tampa Bay wants to win anything in the next decade, you let Baker Mayfield walk out the door. You can argue me of the merits of Baker Mayfield until you're blue in the face. One of the stupidest arguments that I have on social media, no less than 50 times a week, is arguing whether a guy is the 11th best quarterback in the league or the 20th best quarterback in the league. Let me tell you a dirty little secret. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Unless all of the stars align perfectly, that guy's not winning a Super Bowl regardless. It's not going to happen. The game is tilted in the opposite direction for mediocre quarterbacks to make it. If you don't believe me, let's take a gander at starting quarterbacks in the NFL by year. Just in the last 5. Sam Darnold, Drake May. You may not have seen Drake May coming. Every draft analyst I know did. Sam Darnold. I screamed it for 6 solid years. All he needs is a team that's competent. It should have been the Panthers, but the Panthers were so eager to get Baker Mayfield on the field for some reason that they boo-boo kittied that one. In spite of the fact Sam Darnold had one of the best 4-game runs with the Carolina Panthers that any quarterback's ever had on that team. The NFC has had a lack of elite quarterbacks over the last handful of years. If you don't believe me, just ask yourself, who are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? If you ask yourself that question over the last 4 years, there's 4 constants. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. All 4 are in the AFC. So every single time I have this argument, but Jalen Hurts made it to a Super Bowl. Somebody had to. Brock Purdy made it to a Super Bowl. Somebody had to. Jalen Hurts played like an MVP on the best roster in the league in a conference that did not have high-end quarterbacks. Outside of Matthew Stafford, there hasn't been an NFC quarterback in the top 5 in almost half a decade. Because you've had Pat, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow competing against each other. You want flowers because you keep winning the lesser of the conferences. All it means is you're the best of the rest. You can win a Super Bowl that way when you have a roster like Philadelphia. San Francisco thought they did too. They didn't. And it's really hard to keep that roster together when you have to pay Jalen Hurts, when you have to pay Brock Purdy, when you have to pay, I could give a lot of names right here. When you have to pay elite money to non-elite quarterbacks, it's when you see what they are. So the Bo Nixes and all of these other quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, who I do not think is elite yet. He could be. I don't see it out of Bo, and I don't think I ever will. Jordan Love. You feel better or worse about Green Bay right now than you did 2 years ago?
Ooh, Jordan with Jordan.
Yeah, you know
Not
why?
great. Let's put it that way.
You know why? Because you can't afford to keep all these players.
Right.
You took a home run swing at Micah Parsons, and now Micah Parsons is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Hey,
lose
did Jerry
guys.
talk about that?
No doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody says
Jerry
how
mentioned
stupid
it.
Jerry Jones is. He was 100% right. If you look at that trade, Micah Parsons from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers, I don't care if the Dallas Cowboys selected me twice. They still won it. Because Green Bay is paying top of the market money to Jordan Love, top of the market money to Micah Parsons. Those 2 things do not win you a Super Bowl. Micah can if you've got Micah with Bo Nix. You got Micah with Caleb Williams. Micah with Jalen Hurts before he got paid. Micah with Brock Purdy before he got paid. The problem is eventually the bill comes due. Eventually that bill's going to come due. And you're going to be paying a player like Pat Mahomes, and you're not getting Pat Mahomes' return. That's the problem with this league. You want to know why all these teams just surf? But Jalen Hurts, in the last 4 years, has bounced from the 6th best quarterback in the NFL to the 16th best quarterback in the NFL. You know why? Because he got paid. Thankfully for him, he's got Howie Roseman. This is the best GM in sports. That really helps. Because that guy keeps you from looking really, really, really stupid. Because he's such a good drafter that he'll keep the team relevant.
Got 1 minute.
Not everybody does that. Not every team has that. The Green Bay Packers don't have that. The Denver Broncos don't have that. So you can fight me, your rookie quarterback, and where he belongs. Baker Mayfield is the living embodiment of it. Because Tampa Bay stayed competitive in the worst division in the league when Baker Mayfield was the 20th highest paid quarterback in the league. Because he and Sam Darnold were the only 2 that were quote-unquote franchise quarterbacks,
30
but
seconds.
weren't paid like it. They were paid like Daniel Jones. Well, Sam's going to get a raise, and Baker Mayfield's going to get a raise. Sam may be able to win a Super Bowl with that franchise, that front office, that GM. Baker, take luck. And that's what Vita Vea just said to
10
you
seconds.
and your fan base. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. An hour left here in overtime on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate, brought to you by Ingles Markets.
Slowing down.
neither are we. The summer clearance sale is live at Palmetto State Armory. Come in today and find great deals on clearance clothing items, plus closeout pricing on fishing rods, reels, and tackle. Incredible savings from brands you love while supplies last.
How long I got right here, Trey?
Now, buy any lower parts kit. Get
you got a few
$10
minutes,
off
probably
a strip lower. The summer
about 7
clearance
minutes.
sale runs
10 for.
July 13th through
I'm
the
going to go
30th.
find a piece of steak or chicken or something. I've been sitting in this chair for 5 hours. I'm about to starve to death.
You've probably heard plenty of AI
Okay.
promises. But here's one thing we know for sure. When consumers hear an ad for your business, 90% want to know it's a real person talking. And that's what you'll get when you advertise with iHeart. We're guaranteed human. That means real voices, real connection, and trusted audio that helps businesses drive results. Learn how easy it is to tell your story through our voices. Call 844-844-iHeart today. That's 844-844-iHeart.
When your knee hurts every day and you've been told you need a knee replacement, it can feel like there's only one option. This is where you need to be careful. Yes, you're desperate for relief, but do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Richmond Weaver, and before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone on bone, arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call today, 864-766-8454, 864-766-8454. That's 864-766-8454.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO-FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO-FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles,
Here's Steve DeSager.
The Miami Marlins have lost 12 games in a row, but they're leading the Phillies and Zach Wheeler 5-2 in the top of the fourth inning. Pitcher Max Scherzer on his 42nd birthday returns from the IL to start for the Blue Jays tonight. He's leading at Washington 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Baltimore leads at Detroit 4-1, top of the fourth. Arizona at Pittsburgh, scoreless in the bottom of the fourth. Guardians at Reds in a rain delay at the start, and a delay for the Cubs at Cardinals start as well. The Braves are tied 1-1 at the Mets in the bottom of the second. Braves outfielder Ronald Acuna was activated after missing more than a month with a hamstring injury. Yankees outfielder Cody Bellinger is out 4 to 6 weeks with a grade 2 strained hamstring. And all-star catcher of the A's, Shea Langoliers, will have knee surgery on Tuesday. He's likely out for the year. The problem, a torn meniscus for Langoliers.
Hi, I'm Jack Nicklaus. Golf was my game for decades, but now I'm focused on a new challenge, my heart game. I live with a rare progressive heart condition called ATTR-CM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis. So I'm spreading the word about the common red flags: AFib, shortness of breath, heart failure, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Sound like you? Ask your doctor about ATTR-CM and Vindamax.
Vindamax tafamidis is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com.
Take charge. Be informed. Ask your doctor about ATTR-CM and Vindamax. And tell them Jack sent you.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Out here, you know the drill. Animals are hungry, dogs are getting muddy, and you just noticed you're low on feed. Stocking up at Tractor Supply is easy on your wallet with our unbeatable prices on select shavings, retriever dog food, and Producer's Pride animal and poultry feed. From backyards to barnyards, we've got everything to keep your pets, animals, and livestock well fed and comfortable with low prices all summer. At Tractor Supply.
The official language of football is trash talk, late night group chats, memes, and unbelievable highlight clips. That's why Boost Mobile brings you our new Global Connection plan, the first plan ever made for WhatsApp. Get unlimited data, talk and text, international roaming, and calls to over 100 countries for just $40 a month.
$40 price includes $5 a month auto pay discount. After 40 gigabytes of premium high-speed data, speeds will be lowered. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit store or boostmobile.com for details.
The games are over, so there's only one thing left to do: overreact. The NFL Draft Nerd is here to weave through the world of sports and separate fact from fiction. Get involved. The call-in line's open at 864-240-5480. You can tweet us, we don't call it X, at the NFL Draft Nerd. Now, here's that creed-loving, bird-fearing, football lunatic, Jeremy Greene.
Hour two here on a Monday night overtime. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. As always, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Find them online at ingles-markets.com. Take advantage of that 4X fuel points this Friday. 4 fuel points for every dollar you spend on your groceries. Just more savings from your friends at Ingles. Trey, it is finally cool enough in Mullet Manor for me to open the door and get some air in here before I suffocate and die.
Oh, let's go. I've had the door open here for the last hour.
So my office in Mullet Manor it's actually the best room in this house. Got a big French door, all of the things. There's only one semi-significant problem that has revealed itself since we did the switch in time. So before, my time frames were noon to 3 and 7 to 9.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this. Actually, I know you do, but I don't know if you've ever thought about this. The sun is in different places depending on what time you're in a room.
Oh, no, that's right. Yep.
This is my first day doing this entire car wash from 3 to 9. And you know what valuable lesson I learned?
Blinds are great.
Blinds are awesome. And 3 to 7, the sun is basically that angry sun from Super Mario Brothers that's trying to kill me we're gonna have to invest in some shades for this particular room. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. We always appreciate that. You can find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. You can actually see how my face is kind of wilted over the course of the last 5 hours because there's a significant amount of sweating that has happened because it is outrageously hot in this room. Speaking of sweating, I'm a big fan of planting your flag.
Okay.
I always laugh when people say, oh, I knew that was going to happen, but there's absolutely no way to prove that you actually did. So I did a little exercise over the weekend of if I was planting my flag, who am I planting it on for the 2026-2027 season? Who are the teams that are going to make the college football playoff? How many spots do we actually have open? And how many of these teams do I feel really good they're going to find a way to do it again? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you look at the 12 that made it last year, I don't think you're going to see a tremendous amount of change year over year. If I had to bet my house on a team right now, it's the Oregon Ducks. As I've gone through this schedule, look, it's not easy, but it's also not all that hard. They play one game against a team that I think has any legit shot to get into the playoff, and that's Ohio State. It's at Ohio State. It's in Columbus. West Coast team coming east. It is going to be a primetime game, I promise you. Other than that, the best games on this schedule are Michigan, Washington, Oklahoma State, and Boise State. Oregon could lose their team playing and have to drive to every game that they play on this schedule and still go 11-1. Dante Moore is a dude. This year he gets back Evan Stewart, who is a top, with the injury history, I'll say he's a top 75 prospect that has a chance to get all the way up into round 1, depending on how this year goes. Think Tyreek Hill type effectiveness in college football. One of the fastest players in college football. He missed all of last year with a knee injury. This year, he's back. And now he's got Dante Moore throwing it to him. Oh, by the way, they also returned their entire defensive line from last year. 4 guys that will all go in the top 100 of next year's draft. Barring something absolutely unforeseeable and, frankly, unfathomable, the Oregon Ducks are going to be in this playoff. From there, my confidence dwindles a little bit, but not a ton. Because there's 2 more that I'm not quite willing to bet my house, but I'd bet pretty much anything else. Ohio State's the first one. Yes, they play Texas. Yes, they play Oregon. Yes, they play at Indiana. If they win one of those 3 games, they will go 10-2. They will be in the Big Ten title game. And that will be enough to get them into the playoff. I'm not as in love with Julian Sayin as some other people are. It's one of the reasons I made it a point to see Ohio State twice. We will see them against Texas in Austin week 2 of the season. We have another game. It's debatable which one it is, but if you stare at the schedule hard enough, you can probably figure out which weeks we're deciding between. I'll give you a hint. It ain't Maryland, and it ain't Iowa. I want to see Sayin a couple times because he is the thing that makes me nervous. Look, Ohio State's got a receiver corps. There's just not that many teams in college football that can stop them.
Yep.
They're 7 deep. Legit 7 deep. Probably every guy in that receiving corps from 1 to 7 would start on 120 teams in college football. I don't care if they're true freshmen or redshirt seniors. It doesn't matter. That's just how good they are. Jeremiah Smith is I think, generational talent. I think he will end up being the highest graded receiver I've ever had. I feel pretty sure of that. I'm not quite old enough to have graded Randy Moss. I'm not quite old enough to have graded Calvin Johnson. That's the only two that would be in his class to me. When I got to 3, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't expecting this, but my 3's Notre Dame.
That was going to be on my list.
With the change in the rules where basically all Notre Dame has to do is go 10-2.
Yep. As
Are
long
there
as they're, what is it, 12, top 12? Is that what they – that's the rule, right? Yeah.
Outside of Miami, who exactly are they supposed to lose to? If they lose to BYU, that could be problematic. They play 4 of the worst teams in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
They play 4 of the worst teams in the ACC. And then you've got a Rice sprinkled in there. You got a Navy sprinkled in there. That's really pretty much it.
Yep.
If they beat BYU and Miami, they're going to go undefeated. That's the only 3 teams in college football that I look at and go, you're making this. There's no doubt in my mind you're going to be involved in the playoff. So you said Notre Dame would be on your list. Did you have another team on yours that you felt really, really good about?
Yeah, I don't know really, really good about. Well, I say that. He just went in the – I was going to say I could see Indiana. I don't know about making I was kind of thinking Indiana. I think they take a step back. But I don't know, man. I like Kirk Cignetti.
Indiana's stacked.
Yeah.
Indiana's stacked. They got another transfer quarterback to replace Fernando Mendoza, a kid named Josh Hoover out of TCU.
That's it, Josh Hoover. I couldn't think of his name.
He is in the year of the quarterback. We will see Indiana on this tailgate tour. They also have Nick Marsh and Charlie Becker. That might be the best combo of receivers in all of college football that doesn't go to Ohio State.
Right.
Indiana fell into that second tier of, I feel really good, but I could see where it could go sideways.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll start with Indiana. The schedule's not overly daunting. The problem is the daunting part of the schedule is all sandwiched together. So Indiana starts North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern, Rutgers, Nebraska. They may win every single game I just said by 60 points. This team's going to be 6-0. The only one that will even contend with them is Nebraska. The problem is after that they go Ohio State, Michigan, Minnesota in back-to-back weeks. And Minnesota doesn't sound that daunting. Minnesota's got a quarterback that is a dude. Drake Lindsey, he can absolutely spin it. I'm not saying they're going to beat you. What I'm talking about is the accumulation of your 5 best games. Ohio State at Michigan, Minnesota, USC at Washington. That's 5 games in a 6-week spell. That is the 5 toughest games on that schedule. Do I think they'll find a way to come out of it? I do. I think they probably lose to Ohio State. Maybe lose to USC because I do think USC will be better. Not than Indiana. I just think they will be a better team. But it is USC coming west to play Indiana. I feel really good about it, but I can't lock that one in.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Miami. Miami's the best team in the ACC. Sorry, Clemson Tiger fans. They just are. That Miami roster is stacked. I have said if anybody's going to threaten Arch Manning to be the number 1 pick in this draft, it's Darian Mensah. If for nothing else, because he plays ACC competition, and that kid is going to do some special things with Malachi Toney, that running game. The problem for Miami is that they play 2 really tough opponents, and they're both on the road. They have to go to Clemson. They have to go to Notre Dame. The rest of the schedule, Do I think Duke's coming down to Miami and beating you? No, I don't. Do I think Virginia Tech's going to come down there and beat you? No, I don't. Florida State, Pittsburgh, all of these games are in Miami. Miami has 2 they could lose. The problem is that there's nothing on that schedule that's going to make them look good. So if they don't win the ACC, I don't think the ACC's getting 2 teams. Unless it's Clemson and Miami, and it's just abundantly clear that's the 2 best teams, and one of them wins in the regular season, and the other one wins in the ACC title game, and they let the one that won in the regular season in. That's the only way I see the ACC getting 2 teams. Georgia Tech's fine. They're not great. There's only two teams with the talent to break into this. And it's the two I just said. It's Miami and it's Clemson. If they don't do it, you're going to be a one-bid league. I feel good about Indiana. I feel good about Miami. I feel good about Texas. Trusting Steve Sarkisian's a lot like trusting your wife after she's cheated on you about 15 times. Oh, I'd never do it again. You said that last time. You said that actually the last 9 times. And guess what? You have done it again. Steve Sarkisian is just one of those guys that lets you down when it matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
However, he has my number 1 quarterback going into this season. He has my number 2 left tackle going into this season. He has my number 2 wide receiver going into this season. He has my number 1 edge rusher going into this season. That is an outrageous amount of talent, and I haven't even gotten into the depth. The problem for Texas is very simple. The schedule is absolutely evil. We all know they have to play Ohio State. Good thing is it's in Austin. 7:30 kick, week 2 of the season. If you can beat Ohio State, I'm getting closer to that locking you in. But if you look at the rest of the schedule, they have to go to Tennessee. They get Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Man, that's hard to say. They have to play Ole Miss. They have to go to LSU. They have to go to Texas A&M. That's more losable games than any team I've said so far. I think Texas might be the single best team in the country. But, man, they're hard to trust. In our YouTube comments, Red Feather said, Jeremy's not an SMU believer. Noted. It's not that I'm not a believer. They could be annoying. I don't think they have the talent. The problem when you get into those secondary schools, like I like Kevin Jennings. He's the quarterback at SMU. I like him. I don't love him. And I don't love him to the point of I don't think he's enough to bridge the gap talent-wise, because you're talking about Texas. The second stringers at Texas could beat SMU. That's how big the disparity in talent is right now. SMU could beat their starters on any given day. But if you're looking at the percentages, a Notre Dame, a Miami, which I think they both play SMU, they have so many more players than SMU that you'd have to come out and have a perfect night and hope to God that the other two kind of falter. It's the only way you're going to beat them. It's when we get past this point. Texas is the last of the, I feel good, but I'm starting to get a little queasy when I say this out loud. That's 6 spots in the playoff that I feel really good about. We have to take a commercial break. After the break, we'll talk about the remaining 6 spots and where those could go. You can get involved in the program at any time. It's easy to do so. Call-in line's always open, 864-240-5480. It's 864-240-5480, or hit us with a text, 864-777-9593. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene, and you're in overtime on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this late-night ad to make you more alert, which could help your driving. And science tells us that pulsing beats faster, stimulating audio like traveling sound, and voices on the higher, so-called brighter end of the audio spectrum like this can encourage focus. Also, a familiar tune can help, so...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you run a business, you know the value of trust. It's what keeps your customers coming back. And it's what you get when you advertise with iHeart. More than 75% of listeners consider iHeart hosts their friends and trust their recommendations. Now take that trusted influence and combine it with iHeart's massive reach and scale, and you've got the formula for growing your business. Learn how easy it is to tell your story through our voices today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I have person back, 'cause it's rip, rip, rip for our home team.
If they don't win, it's a shame.
Trey, you ever do something and just get an ominous feeling about it when you do it?
Here and there, why?
I just opened the French doors in my office, and I don't know why. It's never happened. I've lived in this house 5 years. I had this weird feeling that a bird's flying in this room, and I'll have to burn the house down.
It's probably because I sent you that picture of me catching a bird and he was in my house.
Yep. That very easily could be it.
That might be the change. That might be the difference. It died, by the way.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. It is what it is. The cat got it, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Caught the cat with it in its mouth and brought it inside, and it just didn't last. You win some, you lose some.
That is true.
All the audiences, live events, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. And all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
What's up, fam? I'm sports journalist Ari Chambers.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sam J.
And we're the hosts of Everyone Watches Women's Sports, a new podcast from Together and iHeart Women's Sports.
We're breaking down the biggest headlines.
Naomi Osaka showing out.
Shout out to you, Naomi.
The viral moments.
I've been obsessed with Krishan Rock's boxing journey. She looks good. Her combos are swift.
And the stories everyone's talking about across women's sports.
Because everyone watches women's sports.
Open your free iHeartRadio app
and search Everyone Watches Women's Sports and listen now.
I'll do a different song.
You good?
That other one just refused to play for some reason.
This is like a preliminary closing. This is not quite closing time.
Sometimes you have to pivot.
Sometimes you have to pivot. Trey had a little difficult. Had a song that was being a little difficult there.
Yeah, didn't want to play. I clicked it, said no.
It is the beauty of these systems that we have. It seems like no matter what you do, something will always go a little sideways.
Always a little hiccup. It's fine.
Trey, we got a little echo coming back.
Yeah, you do.
I hate that button. I swear to you, when I come back to Greenville, I swear to you, I'm gonna find a trick switch where I can just hit that from anywhere in the country. It is one of those things when we switched all of the technology over, we did not think about the fact that Tank and I are almost never in the same room.
Yeah.
Trey and I are almost never in the same room, although that's going to get better when I actually move to Greenville.
Is it? Because I see a 6-month stretch with a Living the Dream tour where you're not going to be here very much.
Yeah, the bad thing is you haven't seen the middle where I do 17 days in the Midwest like I'm Annie Oakley or something. Tank just got his first look at the meaty clackers of the schedule today.
Yeah.
Because there's still some up in the air. I do some television stuff. I do a decent amount of things.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure that all the schedules line up. Well, the problem is in college football, they don't disclose the time on the games until we get closer to the games. So some of them I have to guess. That's why you'll always notice there's a little disclaimer at the bottom that says all dates are subject to change. Because someone that employs Jeremy might say, well, you could do it or be fired. And then we have to audible. But we want to change as few of them as humanly possible because this year we are seeing all 18 quarterbacks for the year of the quarterback to be prepared for the 2027 NFL draft. And some of these teams get a little hard if you can't say. Oklahoma State, I had one shot. That's it. There was no other game on the schedule unless I wanted to fly to Oklahoma, which you get to the end of that one, I don't in any way. Just not really high on my bucket list is to see what Stillwater, Oklahoma looks like in October. we've disclosed the 6 teams that I feel really solid. Varying from bet my house on it, I feel pretty good about it. That was Oregon, Notre Dame, Miami, Texas, Oregon, or Ohio State. I knew I was missing. I was like, I'm missing one here somewhere. Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah.
From here, it gets a little more difficult. Georgia's defense is going to be really, really good.
I was waiting for you to bring up Georgia. I was wondering what your verdict was on them.
The problem is that their quarterback is still Gooner Stockton, who I do not feel wonderful about. The problem with Georgia, and look, you very much could be one of these teams. The schedule is so light.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually don't see SEC teams that play a schedule like this. Oddly enough, it's been Georgia 3 of the last 5 times I've said that out loud. I mean, they play Oklahoma at home. They play Vanderbilt at home. You have to go to Alabama, but, I mean, I don't even know who Alabama's quarterback is at this point.
You got a caller?
I'm just not that worried about them. You have to go to Ole Miss, you have to go to South Carolina, and then you play Georgia Tech. You've got some losable games there, and I really don't believe all that much in your quarterback, which is it's hard for me to put you on the list. We'll keep talking about the potential of the college football playoff. We have a caller on the line. Caller, who's this?
Jeremy, Trey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, Chad?
What's up, Chad?
Oh, man, not a whole lot. We just made it through the house. It's been a long Monday, let me tell you.
Chad, we now do 6 hours of radio consecutively, and this is the first time I've actually had to do it, and I didn't sleep all that well last night. So we're on energy drink number 3, which means I'm probably going to be a little draggy tomorrow too.
Oh, man, what is your energy drink of choice there, Jeremy? I'm an energy drink connoisseur. I sell many flavors.
I'm not going to lie to you. There are about 5 flavors of Monster that I don't know if they put unicorn tears in them things or what it is. But even the zero sugar has some carbs, and I'm really, really trying to keep carbs low. I've started on the C4 solely because I think C4 has decided they're going to make every flavor of my childhood into an energy drink.
Yeah, there are a bunch of C4 flavors.
The bomb, they did the bomb pop, good. Hawaiian punch, like every Jolly Rancher ever made. It harkens back to my childhood, and I appreciate that. And they have 0 carbs.
Yeah. I sell some of them C4s. I sell a lot of Monsters, man. Them white Monsters sell like crazy.
You know what's funny? That's the only
Monsters do okay. I don't know. There's a few that don't sell good. That pink passion fruit Monster, that sucks. That ain't no good.
Oh yeah. If you ever have any of those spare laying around, I can tell you a place they can land in my face because I love those.
Oh, those light pink cans.
Yes.
It's got passion something on it. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a really easy guy to figure out.
Do those pretty good. And the oranges don't sell good, but I like those oranges pretty good. I think they're pretty good, but the oranges don't sell that great either.
I'm an easy guy to figure out. I look like a lumberjack, but most of my food tastes are that of a 12-year-old girl. If it's fruity or if the can's pink, that's probably the one I want.
Yeah, I got you. But it's amazing how much people drinking things, man. I sell the crap out of energy drinks. And I kind of expect about 20 years from now, there's going to be like a commercial on TV, like the asbestos and stuff. If you drank Monsters 20 years ago, you can be in this lawsuit and get millions of dollars because it causes all this crap. I mean, one of them commercials.
Oh yeah, I'll have been long dead.
I kind of think that's what we're going to see in about 20 years with the energy drinks.
I'll have been long dead and died with a kidney that had so many stones in it, you could have used it as a maraca.
Oh, man, that's funny. But, man, I don't know. There wasn't much going on in sports. I seen old Jordan got him another up in Indy, and the WNBA All-Star game was all right. I seen Angel Reese come out there looking like Wanda from In Living Color.
I'm not going to lie to you. I actually watched more of that than I would have ever thought I would, and it wasn't bad. Look, I think All-Star games are stupid. I think we've gotten to a point where All-Star games are stupid because we've changed the format so many times, and they're right in the middle of the season. I mean, look, the NFL, I think they do it right where you play the Pro Bowl after all these teams are already eliminated. The only problem is that then nobody wants to play in it.
Yeah. They need to restructure that Pro Bowl, man. They just need to restructure it or something, man. Just make it maybe not actually a game, but just like a competition. I mean, like all the running backs, who's the fastest, who can catch the receivers, who can catch the longest ball, quarterback who can throw it the furthest. Just have some like an Olympic-like competition. Just who can do the best of each player at their position, who could be the best at that.
We used to have
it'd be something different.
We used to have a thing that
it's a bad product.
We used to have a thing that you may or may not remember. It was back in the 90s. We used to have this thing called the quarterback club, and they would take all the quarterbacks to an island, and they would make them compete in skills competitions that needed no athletic there was no athletic requirement because they ran one time. The rest of it was just, we put chalk on this football, and we hit a target, and it was awesome. It was like every quarterback not in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's cool.
It was awesome.
I think I remember that, Jeremy. Did it come on ESPN or something?
It was on CBS for a lot of years, and then I think ESPN got it right there at the end.
Yeah, I kind of remember watching that. Yeah.
Phil Simms was a hammer. Good. Phil Simms was a hammer. By that time, he was like 40 years old, and he just never missed.
Yep. I do remember that. Old Simms was the man. Did he make the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that's a good question. Is Phil Simms in the Hall of Fame? I don't think he is, but he might be. No, he is not.
If he ain't, he should be.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with quarterbacks, and I mean, we're going to find this out the hard way pretty soon. We got Drew Brees going in this next week while we're in Canton. I kind of laughed at how many people were shocked that Eli Manning didn't make it. I was more proud of the committee that he didn't make it. Because, yes, he had 2 Super Bowls, but other than that, he was the 8th best quarterback in the NFL for about 8 years. And then he just slowly slid into mediocrity.
Yeah, it was like he had 2 good games.
Now, he chose a really good time to have those 2 games.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe Eli ought to get in, but not first ballot. He needs to wait a few years.
Oh, he'll get in.
Maybe put him in, just because he was the only one to beat Brady. I mean, that's hard. That's an accomplishment in itself.
The sad thing is that since Phillip Rivers came back, now we can't have the Ben, Eli, and Phillip all go in the same year because I was convinced that's how that was going to go.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
2 of them got traded for each other, and
for all 3 of them, they all 3 deserve to be in.
2 of them got traded for each other, and Pittsburgh.
Eli got a first ballot.
Pittsburgh low key always told teams that we wanted Ben the whole time anyway, and so to have the first 2 traded for each other, and then Ben, I always thought that would have been a cool week.
Yeah, that would have been pretty awesome. Well, is there any news out of Panther training camp today?
No news is good news. We didn't have any breaking news alerts. That was the highlight of the day was that there was no breaking news.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe things are rolling right along, man. I'm excited. We only got next Thursday, man. Next Thursday. I'm counting them days down. I'm ready for it, Jeremy.
We will have Tank and Christiana, our social media girl. They are doing the game. I tapped. I'm not ashamed to say that I did pull the no. I don't want to do this game card because the last time I did this game, we couldn't get the tickets pulled up, and I almost committed a justifiable homicide in Canton, and I don't think they really want me to come back. So I'm going to watch that one from the Hall of Fame house.
Well, I'm going to ride the couch and watch it on the big screen.
The thing you got to know about the Hall of Fame game is that these guys haven't been in camp for long. it is really taxing on the teams that have to play in it, because you basically have to get a game plan ready a week before anybody else does. And so you're not going to see a lot of players. You will see a lot of Haynes King, kid from Georgia Tech. I'm going to bet he plays a lot of snaps for Carolina.
Yeah, I don't even expect to see Young or any of the stars play, man. Just the scrubs. But, man, I don't care. It's Panthers football. They're out there in a Panthers uniform making plays, man. That's just what I want to see. It don't matter about the results, man. I just want to see football.
That's where I'm at. Is, Tank and I, we have a pre-show meeting every day, especially when we're on the road, just to make sure everything's connected and it all works. And he looked at me this morning and he said, "Do you understand this is the last Monday that we have to do this where there's not actual competitive football for the next 7 months?" And I don't know why that hit me in a different way this year, but it did. It really did. And I got so excited.
Yeah. I'm ready for it, man. I'm just counting the days down. Man, I'm so excited. I'm just ready for it, man. It's been a long off season.
Chad, you got a college football team that you think we're undervaluing that could make the college football playoff?
Man, I'm just going to have to stick with my Tigers, man. I'm a tried and true fan. Been there all my life. I want them Tigers to make it, man. I'm going to pick them.
We've got some exciting stuff with Clemson. We can't quite announce it yet, but Tiger fans that they think I'm the South Carolina guy, and they're not wrong. But we made a new friend over the weekend that's going to bring some nice inside access to the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, that sounds good. It's going to be a segment on the show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, I'm okay. That sounds good. I'm excited about that.
Well, it was one of those opportunities that you meet somebody that has great access to Clemson, and you're like, I don't, because I don't work with Clemson. I work with South Carolina. This feels like something where we can be mutually beneficial.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got any South Carolina guys going to chime in, too? Because, I'm a Carolina fan, too, when they ain't playing Clemson.
I do. The funny thing in my tour around the world is that I actually dated a South Carolina booster for 2 years. So I know a lot of people around South Carolina. That one's easy. Clemson, I've been a Florida State booster for 20 years. So, they kind of keep me at arm's reach, but that's okay. I learned from Dale Earnhardt. If you can't do it yourself, cheat and find somebody else that can do it for you. And so that's what it is.
That's right. That's right. Earnhardt way.
Just committed to bringing you the best product we can bring you. Chad, my friend, we got to hit a commercial break. We appreciate you more than we could ever say, my friend.
All right, Jeremy, Trey, man, we'll be tuned in like always. We love the show, man.
Appreciate you, Chad. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. You're in overtime, and it's last call, the official last call. 4 calls, text messages, and all the likes. Call-in line's 864-240-5480, 864-240-5480, and the text line 864-777-9593. We'll be back to close it up on a Monday right after this on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
Leonard can get your truck ready for cruise night. Lift kits, alloy wheels, chrome accents. Frankly, that's the fun stuff. You should have seen my truck before Leonard got a hold of it. Now we're cruising. But here's the thing. When you pick someone to install the fun stuff, don't you want it to be the same technicians outfitting rescue trucks for the fire department? Leonard is also the team that secures tools and equipment for builders, power companies, and roadside assistant vehicles. Also outfitting trucks for the folks who assist damaged trucks. Learn about what we do every day for the folks who make a living with their trucks at LeonardUSA.com.
When power goes out and cell networks fail, AM radio can be a lifeline with local news, weather, and emergency information. But time is running out. AM radio.
Trey, have you found a little trick to keep this thing from logging you out every hour?
The 2 letters AM to 3916.
No,
is it one of those things like it goes to
every
sleep?
hour. It just every once in a while, like I'll go like a week or so, and then it'll randomly just log me out in the middle of the show.
Is it one of those things that like goes to sleep or what? Exactly?
Yeah, I'm wondering if because you're not firing brakes or anything, if it's just logging you out.
That could be.
It's about the only thing I can think of. I had it, was it today? or maybe it was last Friday. It randomly, I look up and the screen is flashing and it had taken control from me. It didn't log me out. It just released control and I had to take control back.
Yikes.
So that kicked us off the air for probably a couple of seconds. It just randomly does stuff.
So here's one of the things that I've long wanted to figure out with Sound Plus. So to connect a mic to Sound Plus, do I have to have control? Can more than one of us have control at one time?
I've wondered the same thing.
Because, this whole thing you sold me on with this, it doesn't work if we all have to be in the same place.
Right. Well, and also, you'll notice, do you have a studio up at the top? So up at the top right, there's like a little, for you, it's probably blue because you don't have control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just blank, but there's like a little microphone next to it.
Yep.
So for me, it's green. It's Studio GSP, blah, 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 blah. You have to have that studio, obviously, because that's this studio, to take control. Well, when you're at your place or when I'm at home, that's just blank. And if you don't know specifically those letters, because if you click on that right now, it won't give you a list.
Yes, it will.
You
not
either
give me a
have
list.
to know, I guess, and type it in, and so that's like I'm thinking like if I were to go out on remote, if I don't know that, what is that, 3-digit, 4-digit, whatever code that connects to this studio, I can't connect to this studio and take control.
Huh.
Yeah.
So now that makes me wonder of, can we both have control at the same time? Because I can't connect the mic without that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I do not know. Now, I also know because this happened, it was in that week that we had swapped to Sound Plus. Remember when I had the studio issue and I couldn't take control because I didn't know the studio code. It was just gone. And so we were dead in the water at the beginning of that show.
So many things that should have been thought about.
And then, of course, I drop a song in here and try and play it off the bumper bar, and it just acts like it's frozen. It's one thing after another, man.
All right, we need to be out at what, 50?
55-50.
Yep. Math's fun.
Math. When in doubt.
Is there a better way to close it out than the dulcet tones of the greatest singer of the 20th century, Scott Stapp? Yeah, I went a step further. It's not just the greatest band of the 20th century. It's the reason...
Singer?
Oh, no doubt. It's the reason Alter Bridge didn't work out. Still a great band. Just no Scott Stapp.
Right.
It's like a supernova. You gotta have them all together. You gotta have Scott Stapp as the front guy. You're in overtime here on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. He's Trey Falco. I am at the NFL Draft Nerd, Jeremy Greene. Get involved in the program. Call in lines 864-240-5480. Text line 864-777-9593. We're talking college football playoff teams that we feel good about in our YouTube comments. Victor Shelton said LSU will finish 5th or so in the league. With 3 losses. LSU was the next team I wanted to bring up. The problem with LSU is that they're really hard to trust.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that have changed with this team. And they played 2 of the toughest games on the schedule in the first 3 weeks. They start in Baton Rouge against Clemson. They go to Ole Miss 2 weeks in, and they're going to be ducking D-cell batteries and everything else on the field. Then from there, you're going to win a lot of games. Until they play Texas, I'm not overly worried about anything I see on that schedule. LSU would probably be the next one that I feel pretty solid they're going to wind up there. There's just a lot of moving pieces. And it's a lot to ask. So for me, I kind of put Georgia and LSU in the same boat. I trust the LSU quarterback more. I trust the Georgia coach more. From there, good luck. Ole Miss, okay. I'll believe that one when I see it. Oh, but they kept the team together. Yeah, except for the guy that calls the offense. They did not keep that part together. And Pete Golding, okay. You want to trust that one? More power to you. I'm not going to. Because I'll be honest with you, I think Ole Miss could lose to Louisville in week 1, and it wouldn't shock me in the least. That's games in Nashville. Tank will be there. We will be in Louisiana by that time. But we will be doing a watch party for that game live on YouTube because I think Louisville is a team that nobody's talking about. And I don't trust their quarterback nearly as much, but there's a lot of talent on that team. Then they got to play LSU. That one's in Oxford. Then you go to Florida, to Vanderbilt, Missouri, to Texas. You got one with Georgia. You got one at Oklahoma. That's a lot of games that are very losable for a team coached by Pete Golding. I would say I actually feel better about Texas A&M. And then from there, it's just a shot in the dark. Texas Tech, that's the team I like to win the Big 12. I don't see another team that can contend with them, Jimmys and Joes. You might be able to contend with them X's and O's, and you can give me BYU all you want to. BYU does not have the players that Texas Tech does. I saw it last year in the Big 12 title game. I don't care about Brendan Sorsby. Will Hammond is – he's not Brendan Sorsby. He's not going to play in the NFL, but he's a very suitable starting quarterback in college football. From there, it's a complete excrement shoot. You got 4 spots open. In my opinion, there are 4 spots in this playoff that are wide open. Penn State has been a trendy pick because I feel like every analyst wants to find another Big Ten team. You've already got Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State, and it seems like you want to have a 4th one. I don't know that there is a 4th one. I like Michigan. I like Kyle Whittingham. I like Bryce Underwood. I don't know that there hasn't been enough unrest in that program that it's a lot to expect of them to jump up and contend to be in the playoff in 1 year. Penn State is just Iowa State light. Matt Campbell's a fine coach. And James Franklin couldn't win big games. Penn State doesn't really play anybody. But am I going to be shocked if they find a way to lose to USC? No. I'm going to be shocked if they find a way to lose at Michigan? No. Penn State has a chance, depending on how the schedule breaks out, to be the worst 12-0 team in the history of college football. They play USC in Happy Valley. They play Michigan in Ann Arbor. The next best game on that schedule is Washington. The next best schedule after that's at Maryland. Get out of here. And the bad thing is that they will start so high in the poll that it will not matter. They can lose a game, and they'll still be right there. Not playing Oregon, not playing Ohio State, not playing Indiana. That is the downside of having conferences that are this big. You get a Penn State that can just absolutely slide through completely unscathed. Bill Workman in the YouTube chat said, I know it's a hot take, but USC and Minnesota both will finish above Michigan in the Big Ten. Minnesota's spicy. USC, not so much. USC's got a lot of talent. I like their quarterback, Maava. There's a lot to like with USC. The problem is I've watched Lincoln Riley year after year after year be disappointing with this team. But this could be the year that they swoop back in. They're just going to have to play a murderer's row schedule to do it. They don't play anybody early. But from September the 26th, they play Oregon, Washington, at Penn State, Ohio State, at Indiana. You come out of that with only 2 losses, you earned your spot in the playoff. And you earned your spot of laying off of Lincoln Riley for a year. Do I think they're going to do that? No, I don't. I think they'll lose to all 3 premier teams I just said right there. Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana, and they could lose at Penn State. We do have to find a group of 5 somewhere. Why we have to find a group of 5, I have absolutely no idea. If there was ever a time to tap out on that idea, it was after watching Tulane and JMU get obliterated last year.
Yeah.
But they have control of what? What are we shaking in our boots? What will happen if the Sun Belt calls our chit in? Really? That's what you're worried about. The most powerful program in that conference is JMU or Appalachian State. Ohio State could not care less what any of them think. Our gift to you is we let you play with us. From there, you have no power. I do have a weird fear the Pac-12 is going to wind up with a team in the playoff, and it could be Boise State.
Ooh, okay.
Solely because the name Pac-12 is going to make people subconsciously think that conference is better than it is.
Yeah.
It's not. When the second best team in a conference is San Diego State, it does not deserve an automatic spot. It doesn't have one, but I could easily see a path if that's the one. When we're breaking down, is it JMU or Boise State or Tulane or Memphis? Memphis is one to watch with Charles Huff. I just don't care. I think having that spot kind of makes a mockery of your playoff. Not because I'm upset that a team makes it, because when you look at the build out of this, one of these teams is going to have to play LSU, and one of them is going to have to play JMU. And there's a huge difference in that. There's just a huge difference in who you play. And until we get rid of that, this is going to continue to be a little bit of a farce. I've seen 1,000 different ways for this to play out. I think we're as close as we're going to get until we say, no, it's the 12 best teams. If you want to be in it, be one of the 12 best teams. If you don't, if you can't do that, if you can't run the table in your conference, you don't belong to be here. We don't give Ole Miss another layup against Tulane. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous part of this, and I think that's going to be the single thing that blows up the NCAA, is that you will never find a way to make what's good for Ohio State good for Tulane, because it doesn't exist. There is no solution that doesn't leave one of these schools behind when one of them spending $50 million on the roster and one of them spending $5 million.
Yep.
It's just the patent fallacy of college athletics as we sit today. For the rest of the week, we will be live 5 p.m. every day in the Sportsocracy. It's your chance to call in. It's kind of like overtime the weekday.
Yeah,
every day. Call in with your takes. This week on our earlier show, we are unveiling our top 100 players in the NFL. Today we profiled Jesse Bates, safety of the Atlanta Falcons, Devon Achane, Caleb Williams, Aaron Brewer, Joey Porter Jr., Sam Darnold, Devin Lloyd, Jared Verse, Nico Collins, and Milton Williams. That was our 100 to 91. We'll do 90 to 81 tomorrow, all leading up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We will have 30 players. That Thursday we get to Canton that we will be unveiling our top 30 players in the NFL. You can find it all on our social media. Very appreciative to social media manager Christiana, business manager Megan, who have got our social medias humming to the point of I've been told to do things that are anatomically impossible all day long. Bo Nix fans, man, they get really salty. Denver Bronco fans just get so salty when you're – all I said was he's not elite. Take what I said, not what you heard me say, and understand that elite is elite. It's the reason we have that word. Not everybody can be elite, because if everyone was elite, then now elite means good. That's how words work. It doesn't keep people from getting their underoos in a bunch, telling me how stupid I am. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. We appreciate all of you for tuning in this week in Overtime. As always, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Check out our friends at Ingles. Everybody eats. Ingles-markets.com. Ingles, low prices. Love the savings. We'll see you tomorrow for the Sportsocracy here on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
It's Hop to It Howl and Top Speed Tuck. Helping you fast. That's our most important creed. If your AC's broken down,
I survived.
Call your favorite friends in town. Tuck and Howl on the job with lightning speed.
The fellas are right.
Tuck and Howl is faster than a cheetah.
Faster than a race car.
Faster than a rocket.
All right.
Oops. Oh, Jamal Adams headed to the Vikings.
Ooh, okay.
Indeed.